ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवा भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुष्ठुवागुंसस्तनूभिः न्यसेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताक्षो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। प्रज्ञानां शुप्रदानै स्थिरचरनिकर व्यापिभिर्व्याप्य लोकान् भुक्त्वा भोगान् स्तविष्टान् पुनरभिधिषणोद्भासितान् कामजन्यान् पीत्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् सोपिति मधुरभुङ् मायया भोजयन्नो माया संख्यातुरीयम् परममृतमजम् ब्रह्म यत्तन्नतोऽस्मि। यो विश्वात्मा विदिच विषयान् प्राश्य भोगान् स्तविष्टान् पश्चाच्चान्यान् सोमदिविभवान् ज्योतिषा स्वेन सूक्ष्मान् सर्वानेतान् पुनरभिशनैः स्वात्मनि स्थापयित्वा हित्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् विगतगुणगणा आत्वसौ नस्तुरीयः। So thus praying to that Jiva Chaitanya which is within us, Brahma which is within us, Hridaya Kuhara Madhye Brahma, not somewhere else, not in the clouds, but in me alone. In the very center of me, the core of my personality is Brahman. Understand it that way. The very core of my personality is Brahman. And because of its presence there, that Jiva Chaitanya, what happens? I am able to see, hear, touch, smell, have sparsham. Everything I am capable of doing because of its presence. In the Kenopanishad, the Rishi says, I am the eye of the eye. See, in saying that, he has made so many of the Vedanta Vakyas there. That is, I am the eye of the eye. The very center in me is what makes the eyes to see. Clear? All these sense organs are functioning because of its presence. Now, not only that, what else? The eye of my eye, the ear of my ear, all differently work functioning from the same source of energy, which is Brahman. And that Brahman is me, myself. That is also indicated there. That is also indicated. So then, this Atman, the self, which is me, which is the pure consciousness, whose Surupa Lakshana is Satchit Anandam, and because of which all the sense organs are enlivened, and because of which my mind is able to think, and because of which the intellect is capable of functioning. I am the very intelligence in the intellect. Think in this way about Brahman. And because it is there, my body is what it is. You understand? Don't get into the rigmarole of again and again falling, saying, I did that. I am a great painter, I am a great thinker, I am a great that, I am a great this. You are nothing when it is not there. When it is not there, you are nothing. So then, the kartrutva, bhoktrutva bhava that you have at this moment should be given up with the understanding it is not I who is doing, it is not I who is thinking, it is not I who is the perceiver. Then, who is the perceiver? See? Omkara is the perceiver. And Omkara expressing through your physical body, the gross objects, makes you the thinker, makes you the perceiver of objects. And Omkara, expressing through the mind, feeler of motion. Omkara, expressing through the intellect, makes you the thinker of. This is clear. This picture is clear. But then what makes the difference between you and I? You and I? There is no difference. That will be great. We are not asking about the Brahman level, at your level. Is there a difference? Why the difference? Vasana is different. I have got sannyasa vasana, you have got grihastha vasana. So naturally what will happen? Camp. Whatever vasana. Is that clear? What makes one person different from the other? His own vasanas, accumulated in many lives. Is that clear? But Brahman is the same in all beings. This has to be studied every day until it becomes your second nature. In the morning meditation you say, Hridaya kughara madhye kevalam brahma matram aham idhi sakshat atma rupena bhadi. You can literally feel that. I, it is saying. It does not tell you to say, I am the son of so and so, that and all that. Those are all I thoughts. Not I. This I is not different from Brahman. How can the sparks in a fire be different from the fire? It cannot be different. Understand? So also this ahankara spuranam is not different from the Brahman. But when does it become different? When I associate it with something here. Is it not? I have a fat body. If you think like that, then what has happened? I, the Brahman, have now become Pivara. I become fat. I have acquired the gunas of the BMI. I am a sattvic person. Is it not? I'm a very sharp thinker. What have you done? You have identified with the qualities of the BMI. But supposing even for a moment of meditation you are able to stand as pure I, Nirvikalpa Aham. That is a moment of meditation. You are not gone here. You do not say, I am so and so, I am a big engineer, doctor, blah, blah, blah. I don't say anything. I. That's Purana. Is it clear? So also here, he says, all that enjoying the gross objects of the world, and then in the Swapna Loka, seeing Swapnas, which are undigested thoughts in the waking state, now becomes the Swapna. Madrabhung, enjoying it, then withdrawing all of it. It is like a play for the Paramatma. Enjoys. Through what? Paramatma cannot enjoy or give up. Because he is akarta, abhokta. So then how does he enjoy? You must ask immediately the question. How can he enjoy? Through our equipment. What equipment? Physical body. Or the mental body. The Sukshma Sharira, the Sthula Sharira and the Karana Sharira. Taking hold of it. How can electricity give you light? Because of the bulb. How can electricity give you air? Because of the fan. Is it not the equipments? Similarly, there are so many equipments. The Sukshma Sharira, the Sthula Sharira, the Karana Sharira, Vidiriktaha, other than these three is Brahman. Okay. Brahman takes hold of these equipments and play in this world. That is what said there, Vyapya Logan, Bhuktva Bhogan. And who is enjoying? Brahman alone, not Brahman. Brahman, through the body, enjoys. Through the body, does all types of things. Okay? Vyapya Logan, Bhuktva Bhogan, Stavishtan. And then he comes back to his Sukshma Sharira, the mind and intellect, by which he projects what is in the mind in the dream state. He becomes himself the dreamer, he becomes himself the dream objects, he becomes himself the dream. Who? Same Brahman. Taking the upadhi called the mind, intellect, and becomes a dreamer. And then in the deep sleep state, what happens? He withdraws all his playthings into himself. Like the child puts back the playthings in the box, close the box and go to sleep. Similarly, whole day she will be playing. So many things she will create from that plasticine. But when it is tired, you go to sleep and you put everything together into one ball of plasticine. Similarly, we do every day. We are creating and destroying, creating and destroying. And then went back, how beautifully Acharya says here, Pitva Sarvan Visheshan Sopiti Madhurabhung Maya Bojayanno Maya Ham Buddhi. He makes us enjoy and suffer in this world. Maya Sanghyaturiyam Paramamritamajam Brahmatannadosmi. That Brahman who goes through this daily play, to that Brahman my prostrations, he said. So then, after having said, and the same thing he says in the Vishwatma, Vidija Vishayan, Prashya Bhogan, Savishan, same thing. As a jiva, it enjoys everything. Anyan Swamadhi Vibhavan Jodisha Svena Sukshma. Now how many jivas are there? Huh? They think I am trying to catch them somewhere. How many jivas are there? This is the Brahman. Is this Brahman the same in our everybody? Yes. No? Who said no? Why? Why? Vasana is different. Is the light different? Is not Brahman the same? Brahman is the same. Is not electricity the same? You may put anything here. You may put a fridge, you may put a heater, you may put that, this, anything. It doesn't matter. But electricity remains the same. Similarly, if in every being the same Brahman is functioning, how can you say that the Jiva Chaitanya is different in different bodies? Some people say, and they hold on to that view. I don't care. But how many jivas are there? Only one jiva. Eka jiva va. Okay? But then they are different. You are different, I am different. That is only because of the vasanas. Vasanas are different. If the eye is the one, but if you put a green glass, you will see everything green. If you put a pink glass, everything pink. So, eye is only one. But the colors are all different. We are colored by our vasanas. In fact, if you ask, after studying upside down the whole of Mandukya, I came to the conclusion, he never believes in Eka Jiva Vada or Bahujiva Vada. He believes in Ekatma Vada. You understand? What? The Mandukya Karaga, Gaudavada believes in Ekatma Vada, the same Atman in everything.
Conditioned Atma is Jiva. So Atma can be one.
That we didn't ask for you the description of Jiva. Jiva has got many definitions. Jiva has many definitions according to many people. We are not taking that portion. That is not the idea of our study. But Jiva is the reflection of Paramatma. Is it not? My shadow.
There are as many reflections as there are bodies.
I got it.
So there are many jivas,
No. That way Bahujiva Vadam is wrong. Because this light, according to very many philosophers, it is wrong. Because if you give the word Bahujiva to all the jivas are different from the other, the very Advaita philosophy will be lost. Advaita is talking about only one thing, not two. You are accepting jiva as a reality. When you say Bahujiva, you are giving reality to... Is that clear? So when you analyze, what will happen? That same Brahman has become jiva, let us say, or conditioned by the mind intellect, becomes the jiva. That is, our definition is that only. Conditioned by the mind and intellect. The jiva, we call it. Actually, Mandukya is going to say, no jiva was born at all. Why are you quarreling about a Bahu jiva and a Ega jiva? In the end, he is going to say there is no jiva also. You understand? So those things we need not get involved in that discussions, because it's never-ending discussions going on for thousands of years. As far as I have understood, it is only jiva is the reflection of the Brahma Chaitanyam, Atma Chaitanyam in the mind intellect which has become purified. Okay? And the reflection in the book called this Vivekam also, same thing is said, that the Drik and the Drishya Vastu, they are all the reflection. The light of consciousness reflected in the mind and intellect is called jiva. Now, how can you say that is different? Just because you put your whiskey in a different type of bottle, is it different? Jiva is jiva only. The bottle is different. Your mind is different. My mind is different. Everything is different. The container is different, is it not? Content, how can you say it is different?
No, we don't say content is different, but since the conditioning is different, so it should be different.
No, it is not different. It appears to be. It is not different. How can it be different? Just because the container is different, the whiskey does not change.
We call conditioned Brahma is jiva. When the condition itself is different, so naturally the jiva should be different.
Only one jiva is there and everybody should be saying.
Because
Karana
Sharira is different for different people.
Everybody is different here.
Karana Sharira is different. Karana Sharira has to be different. Because it is the vasanas that you have accumulated. And they are different. We never questioned that. Jiva is only a reflection.
Yeah.
And jiva are not different.
Then that is why I think Mandukya said that no jiva is born. Because people like you make it difficult for the teacher also to say what it is. So he said, neither the jiva was born.
We said, the Om the thing, depending on the Karana Sharira or Vasana, the body is decided by the Karana Sharira. Right? So it is a condition depending on the... So when it is conditioned by the Vasana, it should be different. Because the Vasanas are different. Equipments are different.
So what are you trying to prove?
Only one reality. Brahma is okay.
Huh?
I mean, Jiva is not one.
Jiva is not one. Jivas are many. Even in Mandukya they have said so many times, Jivas.
If Jiva is one, then Jiva Brahma Ekam is so simple. We don't have to go through this whole at all.
Brahma is all pervading everywhere, so it is same in all jivas. Jivas are tube light, fan, computer, in a biological way.
So can you say that all these equipments are not electricity?
They are even Brahma.
Eh? Will you say that this electricity is bulb electricity, that fan electricity, and what electricity?
I'm saying electricity is same. That is Brahma. That is all pervading, so it's everywhere.
That's all I am saying.
Same.
Nothing more I said. The jiva is nothing but Brahma's own reflection. This you have to accept, whether you like it or not, it is a truth. Okay, discussion is discussion. I will not run away from discussion. Who said? Your reflection is not you. Or you think it is somebody else in the mirror. The mirror is different. Concave, convex, deshi, all mirrors are different. But the reflection, so long as you are standing there, all the reflections are you only.
From the Brahman's point of view. From the Jiva point of view.
You take from the known to the unknown. Don't go, where is Brahman, where is Jiva, we don't know. Now, I am standing in front of 10 mirrors. 10 mirrors are different in various ways. But the reflection, I cannot disown that reflection.
But some of the mirrors are complex, some of them are complex, some of them are...
Let it be. But can you deny, can you deny that it is not you? No. Upadi Behedam, not you. If at all there is difference in the jiva, it is Upadi Behedam.
They are all different.
That Upadi is Vasa.
Even Vedanta Krishna says there are as many Jivas as there are.
What is your Vedanta and what it is yours?
I am not my Vedanta. I know.
You would get rid of this idea of my Vedanta, my... No such thing. What? Let us pray. But no, this has to be proved before I continue. Otherwise, again and again it will come up here. This has to be determined. Ekatma vadam, jivatma, paramatma, aikyam will happen only if there is identity. You cannot say that is different and I am different, we are both. That means there is still dvaidam. There is still dvaidam in your mind.
As far as Jiva is
Jiva is not dvaidam. Jiva is not dvaidam.
Jiva associated with Vasana or Karna Sharira is Ahankara, and all Ahankaras are different in each.
That I agree. Abba, some have got king size Ahankara.
But we are
That
considering
much.
Ahankara as Jiva.
Your confusion is... I am glad you brought it out, Mr. Rajgopal. The Ahankara is the offshoot of the Jiva.
Conditioned Jiva is Ahankara.
Ahankara is the offshoot of Jiva. So that is different. I don't have the same Ahankara as some has. Or I may have a bigger Ahankara. That way it is different. But what we are trying to say is, in its essence, Jiva is not different from Atma.
then Jiva become Ishvara.
What? Ishvara is another type of Jiva only.
Brahma with Maya total avidya is Ishvara. And same Brahma with individual avidya is Jiva. So the Jiva must be many.
Jiva must be?
Many.
That conditioned Jiva.
Conditioned Jiva must be many. Otherwise it becomes
Jiva is
Ishvara.
conditioned. No, it is
Brahma with avidya, one, that is Ishvara. Ishvara also with the Maya.
We are not bothered about Brahma is there in it or not.
Is there?
And when your avidya, whatever type it is, whatever color it is, whatever it is, even it is gone, is it not Brahman? Yes. How can you say that Brahman is not Jiva? Brahma, see, this example is given by Gurudev only for understanding, not for argument. Jiva, Brahma plus Maya is Ishvara. Brahma plus Avidya is Jiva. Is it not? Now Avidya is different in different individuals. Or all other things are different. The body is different, his mind is different, his intellect is different, everything is different. But the Brahma Chaitanyam is there in Jiva also, in Ishvara also. It is only in that sense we say Tattvamasi. We are not talking about the dividing factors. Is it not? When you say Tattvamasi, the student never asked how. He didn't ask. If he had asked, we would not have saved so much of study. That is the problem. I mean, I am not trying to solve it. This has never been solved for many years now. So, we will leave it to open. In my mind, it is clear. If I say, from which levels you say I, that only matters. If you are thinking you are a limited individuality with lot of avidya, sorry, you are many only. Okay, but if you are talking from that level, when I know I am Atman and there is only one, Egam Advidiyam Brahma, Jivo Brahmaiva, Na Aparaha. I did not say. Acharya says. Okay. So long as you consider Jiva as a limited individuality, conditioned, then so long you will be a samsari, so long you will have to suffer. This is all I can say. My conclusion is that. So where in which level you are, and from that level you will see Jiva. But here Mandukya, Uttamottama Adhikari he says, no, Jiva was even born. That is also another imagination of yours. We will see that later. It will come again. That is why I have brought it out now. I didn't want to bring it out. But to my mind it is very clear. Brahman himself is the Jiva. And when it is conditioned by so many things in your mind and intellect, it appears as though Jiva is different from Brahman. So when you say, my ego is hurt, who is saying? Jiva is saying. Identifying with what? Identifying with what? Identifying with his own ahankar. You understand? Suppose he is identifying with Brahman, then what will he say? What will he say?
As soon as the identification is gone, the Jiva is gone.
Yeah.
When they keep saying Jiva, there has to be identification. Once the identification is gone, Jiva is no more.
Exactly, Jiva merges with the... that's exactly what is happening.
But as long as we keep saying Jiva, there is an identification.
Individuality is
Even the Jiva Bhava itself is an imagination.
Jiva is only one, and if Jiva is Brahma, then why do you want to use the word Jiva at all? You can always go on using the word.
Because, see, like you, there are people who insist that there are many Jivas. That is that is why we have to study all this. That is because of that only. Suppose you have already known I am Jiva, when I am conditioned by my mind and intellect, I am Brahman otherwise, and there is no difference between Brahman and I don't have to study anything. There is no need to study, even now, this moment. You can stop everything because I am Brahman, I am Jiva. Jiva Brahma Tat Tomasi. Now your Tom Padartha Shodhana is yours, not mine. Where you are standing, how do I know? You are like that eel fish. You take it in this side, it comes in this side. You understand? That should not be. You should be firm in your determination. Now, about Jiva, a lot of Vedanta Paribhasha and many other texts have written about Jiva, and Jiva Bhava itself is in fact, they say the pot space is never born. But we have made pot space. This space is not enough. What do you mean space is not enough? This space is total space. This space is total space. This Jiva is also total. Brahman. You can't. Anyway, it's a nice topic to go on thinking, okay, without coming to a conclusion. Go on thinking. And if you think, don't try to make people believe what you believe. That don't do. In this fact, it is not possible. Everybody thinks differently in this matter. But in the Dridrishya Viveka, it is very clearly said, Jiva is only your reflection. Your reflection means not the Ahankara's reflection, but Brahman's reflection. Okay, then it says, I know. That knowing capacity inherited from from where? Brahman. Brahman only can know. And the Jiva confuses everything and makes a mess of a whole thing. What he does? Jiva Srishti starts. What he does is, he says he identifies with the body and becomes all the problems of the body. He identifies with the mind and becomes all the emotional and everything. He says it is mine. I am sorrowful. Who said? Immediately you know your identification is with which mind? Which mind you are identifying? The ego is identifying with which mind? When I say I am very sad, what am I identifying? I am really sad. I am really sad now. Is it not? Your emotional mind. I am identifying with my emotional mind. When I say I am hungry, what am I identifying? Body. With the pranas. When I say I am Ananda Swarupa, identifying with what? Who is making all this lot of jivas? You yourself. Not really. I am that pure Chitabhasa which is differentiated in your mind and intellect because of the Ubadhi Bhedam. That way you understand. Maybe there is no solution for this. The moment I know they are only belonging to the Ubadhi, not to me, that moment Tattvamasi, Shvetaketo, that is you. So what happened to all the thousands of jivas? You are saying there are thousands, We have got numberless jivas because we have got numberless doubts. Leave it there. That is all I can say. Anyway, to my mind, the Brahman itself became the jiva. He reflected in the mind intellect. Later on it got every identification from that reflecting mediums. And when he wants to identify itself with Brahman again, he has to go drop all these identifications. So, where is the difference? In the medium. It is so clear. It is in the reflecting media that is the difference, not in the reflected light of consciousness. Okay, leave it. That is not the topic of our conversation at all now. In between it came. You didn't answer, nobody answered it. And I didn't answer. You may say, I am telling nobody has answered it. Then leave it to you where you want to be. You want to be one with Brahman? You are free. You want to be many jivas and interact with them, fight with them. Up to you. Up to you. What can we do? All right? Have we agreed on that point? Don't think you can walk a cakewalk this. No cakewalking here.
Gives me an idea, ma. Jiva is one. Any one man getting liberation, the whole population is liberated.
Where is the doubt? Even today, now, with all your ignorance, you are liberated. Where is the doubt?
Anybody getting liberated, everybody is liberated. Because Jiva is already
That cannot be. How can that be? He is still in that, what do you call it? In that, he cannot be. So many are liberated in this world. Why are you and I not liberated? Because we are hoping we are all one of the many jivas. That is why. That is why. Okay. Now we go on to our what Gurudev has done. In one shot I will read everything, and I am not going to explain the 6 verses. You read ma. Hari Om. Tasyobhavyakyanam without a single introduction, because we try to give introduction only, we get into pits like this. So, no introduction. But Mandukya starts with Edap, all this Hari Om. Oh, you people who have gone away from Hari, all of you come back. Okay? And now he says, Omitera Aksharam Idam Sarvagam. Whatever is a Drishya Vastu, that is represented by the word Om. Why it is Om, he is going to tell in the later this thing. Omkarameva edad aksharam imperishable. In this perishing world of ours, there is something imperishable. That imperishable is Om. Om means not the word, not the sound. Om. Akshara Brahma is pointed out by Omkara here. Om itedat aksharam idam sarva. Is there anything which is not Om? No. Everything is Om only. In that way, maybe all are jivas. Everything is Om. Sarva monga tasya upavyakhyanam. I am going to give you a small explanation. Upavyakhyanam, clear explanation of that Om will follow. Is what the meaning is there. I am only doing the main thing. You have to read. After this class, you have to sit and read. Bhūtam bhavyam bhavishyaditi sarvam onkari. That was in the past. That is now in the present. That will be in the future. Everything is Om alone. Meaning thereby, in the past also Brahman is there. In the present also Brahman alone is there. In the future also Brahman alone is there. In other words, what is that? Huh? Huh?
He is ever present.
Ever present. Not conditioned by time. Ever the same. Egatma pratyaya saram. That which is not conditioned by past, present and future. Buddha bhavya bhavannādhaha in the Vishnu Sahasranamam. One who is a master of time. He is there in the past, he is there in the present, he will be there in the future. There was never a time when it was not there. Meaning the ever-existing reality. See, in the shortest little words, so much is indicated.
I have a silly doubt. What is the difference in Om and Omkar? Why one is called Om?
Nothing. Omkar is the sound of Om.
Omkar is the sound of Om.
That is all. Om is the word.
Om is the word.
Omkara is the dhvani. Dhvani is called Omkara.
So the last word, last line says, Yacharya Trikala Tidam Tadapi Omkar Eva.
Tadapi Omkara. Omkara.
It doesn't say Tadapi Om Eva.
I mean, he didn't make a difference there. Now, whatever Bhūtam Bhavat Bhavishyaditi Sarvam Omkara Eva. Everything is Omkar. Everything is Om. Now, if you say everything is Om, what does it indicate? What are the other things which are everything? Come on, don't get frightened of yourself.
There is nothing other than Om.
What is perceived is other. What is perceived?
What is
What is perceived?
perceived?
Perceived.
Sarvam means, what is sarvam? As far as you, another sarvam you tell.
There is no second.
What other thing you can indicate by the word sarvam?
Purnam.
What is a Purnam?
The entire Jagat.
Sarvam idam. Idam will be entire jagat.
Idam means that which goes by the word, this is called idam. That is the whole world, perceived world as he said, is Om. That he said first itself, Bhūtam Bhavya, which is not conditioned by time, evam echa anyat trikala adhitam. Trikala adhinam, this whole world is conditioned by time. And that which is not conditioned by time also is Om. Is it not? Tadapyongareva. In other words, there is nothing other than Om. And also there is something else which we call Sarvam. Everything is that. What is that? I am not giving you any line. You have to say. What else is Sarvam? We leave alone Om. What else is Sarvam? Brahman. What you have forgotten Brahman. I am trying to explain and I don't know why you don't understand. So, Sarva, Brahman stands for Sarvam, is it not? Sarvatma Bhava, Sarva Vyabhi, Sarva. So many words we have used in the Upanishads to describe Brahman. So that Sarva Atma Brahma, Sarvatma Brahma, is also like this. All this is Brahman. All that was in the past was Brahman. All that is in the present is also Brahman. And all that will be in the future also Brahman. Same thing, in the same way he is explaining Om. In whatever was in the past is Om. Whatever is in the present is Om. Whatever is going to be in the future is Om. So what do you understand by that? Om is? Om is Brahman. Don't make your own commentaries now. Like a mathematics student, you understand. Therefore, Om is equal to Brahman. Om is not different from Brahman. Om represents Brahman. In other words, there is tadatmyam between Om and... Have become clear? And what is Om? Is... Trikala Adida, Trikala Adhina. Trikala Adhina vastus in this world are all Brahman, goes by the name Idam, Idam, Idam. And Trikala Adidaha, gone beyond the Idam. That also is Brahman alone. That also is Om alone. Why Om is used? But why did they take Om as a pradigam? Shabda Brahman. And Shabda is the first thing that originated in the creation theories. Shabda is the first. You understand? So, it is the highest type of symbol. To represent Brahman, Om is the highest type of symbol. And he says here, Tadapyongareva, Trikala Adidam, Trikala Adhinam, and Om itself is Brahman. That much Gurudev had explained yesterday. Now, don't say, whose idea is this? Which teacher has? If you ask, because there are so many kuskrudis in our classes. So we say, not we are not responsible. And here he gives, Edadeva Aksharam Brahma, Edadeva Aksharam Param, Edadeva Aksharam Jnatva, Yo Yedichadi Tasya Tad. In the Upanishad, Kadhopanishad. Kadhopanishad talks about Brahman. This Omkara is Parabrahma, Akshara Brahma, Parabrahma as well as Aparabrahma. That is the Parabrahma and also the Aparabrahma. The Drishya Brahma, Drishya Prapancham, Adrishya Brahma. All are nothing but that Aparabrahma. And if you Eda Devaksharam Jnatva, having understood this Brahman, this Omkara is Brahman, and you have the Upasaka who had understood Sakshatkaram has taken place in him. He has realized that Upasaka, whatever he desires happens. Whether he desires the aparavastus, he gets that. He asks for the paravastu, he gets that. That is why it is a very great upasana. Para, apara, both are. That is why we say in the Stuti, Kamadam, Mokshadam Jaiva. It can give you kamas, all your desires will be fulfilled. But it can also fulfill the moksha from all desires. Now, that is from Onkara, Shreshta, and it is the Edadvai, Edadalambanam Shreshtam. Where is it said? Again Kathopanishad. Edadalambanam Shreshtam, Edadalambanam Param. Which one? Alambanam means support for your upasana. Which is the support? Onkara is the support. And Edadalambanam Jnatva Brahmaloke Mahiyate. That person who knows this alambanam, this support for your meditation, reaches Brahmaloka, the highest loka. Said who? Shruti says. Not a teacher. Shruti says. Then again, Edadvai Satyakama Param Chabaram Brahma Edongaraha. It is again said in the Prashnopanishad, Tasmad Vidwan Edayanaiva Ayadanena Ekadaram Anvedi. By this Ayadanam, by this support of Brahma Ayadanam, he reaches, Onkar Ayadanam, he reaches Brahman. So many places in the Upanishad, Om Iti Brahma, Om Iti Ekam Sarvam, Om Iti Brahmanaha Pravakshanyaha. So many times Om comes in this Smriti and the Shruti. Brahmopapnuvadi Brahmaivo apnodi. Taittiriya Upanishad 181, Onkaram. And Vedadhyayana Brahmana, who is doing Brahmana, says, starts everything with Om. When he starts the Vedadhyanam, he starts Om. When we start the study of the Vedas, we start with Om. Okay. All this shows what? Shruti holds Onkara in great reverence. Om Tat Sad, we do the danas. Om Tat Sad, let it be like that. Everywhere we use the word. Its greatness is Pramanyam, Pradhanyam. Both are explained in these Upanishads. And we call it also Pranavam. Okay. Now, having explained Onkara, so Avataraya, Shruti is going to, what to say? Avataram means what? Is to reveal that Onkara to the student. Now, one more thing which the Bhashya says, and I must tell you, is Onkara is Namarupa. Is it not? Onkara contains all the alphabets. A, U, M. Now, A is the starting of the alphabet, is the ending of the alphabet, and U is the middle of the alphabet. Within these three words, the entire alphabet is contained. That means anything which has a name in this world will come in Onkaram. Onkaram is there in all our names. Is it not? Without some word somewhere, all Namarupatmakam Jabagat is only Onkara. So when you say all this is Om, that means all Nama Rupaatmaga Vak Prapancham is Brahman, is Omkaram. So Omkara is chosen with these ideas. The rishis were great scholars as well as thinkers. so Avataraya, Omkara Nirnaya is to do this avatara of Brahman for the seeker. So Avataraya, that word is used. So Abhidhanam, the Shabda Brahma, is the Namadheyatmagam Vajarambanam Vigaro Namadheyaha. The Namadheyas are all in the Omkara, contained in the Omkara. Now, when you say a name, Abhideya, Abhidhanam, we say. Abhidhanam is name. Every name indicate a Abhideyam. Abhideyam means Nami. There is a Nami. And you are saying a Nama. Now I take this key. When I say this is a Namam. And what will happen in your mind? The picture of a key will come. Some key which you own. Is it not? Abhidhanam makes you think about Abhideyam. Artha. Vagartha, Vag and its Artha. Is it not? Now when you say any name, when you say flower, Abhideyam will come in your mind. One picture of a flower. When you say Brahman, also Nama. Is it not? What will happen? There is nothing to come because Brahman does not have a form, is not there. But Brahman is the Abhideyam of the word in the... So they have given a Abhidhanam Om. So when you say Om, what should be the... What comes in your mind? Brahman comes in. In a worldly object, when you say the Nama, there will be associated with it the Namadeya. Namadeya is associated with the Rupa. But in the case of Brahman, there is no Rupa. Hence, what will you know? Immediately say, oh, my mind is gone in that direction of Brahman. That is why Omkara is a great mantra for meditation. Abhidhana, Abhideya Sambandham is there between Om and Brahman. Is it? However much I explain, you won't understand. Read again and again and again this text. Okay? And even if the text does not have, it will come to you by the way that mind is focusing its attention on it, it will come. So, Omkara is the Abhideyam, Brahman is the Abhidhanam. Abhidhanam, Omkara, Brahman is the Abhideyam. So, Abhidhanam, Omkara Rupam, Abhideyam, Brahmam. Abhideyamaya Brahmam, Omkaram. But, so, Abhidhanam is Omkaram. Abhideyam is Brahman. But that is also one name. Brahman is also one name. So it is also Abhidhanam. To show the non-difference between Brahman and Om. Clear? So whenever you chant Om at any time, hereafter, immediately you must remember, I am connected to Brahman. Don't say, Om. That is not the need of. That absorption should come to you. Otherwise, upasana does not carry any weight. Have you understood this portion? This only so much Shankaracharya has given about this, that abhidhana, abhideya, abhinna vastu is Om and Brahman. And it is all that Vak Prapancham, Bhudam, Vartamanam, Bhavi, Trikala, Adhinam and Trikala, Adhitam is Brahman. Everything is Onkara, Abhideya Pradhanam. So, Abhidhana Pradhanama, Abhidhanam, Abhideyam, both Onkara and Brahma are both Abhidhana and no difference. Abheda Sambandham. What is it showing? The Abheda Sambandham between Om and Brahman. After that, you must learn to do meditation on it. When you say Aum, there are so many varieties of meditation on Om. One of them is Gurudev said, did he say that? I was in, no, that first portion is gone. So we didn't know. If you go to the Himalayas, you can see them. He told us in that first portion, Aum, Aum, Aum. He showed it in such a way we feel like laughing. Aum, Aum, Aum. Like that they go on endlessly chanting. The rishis in the Himalayas. Stands for the waking world. U stands for the dream world. Stands for the deep sleep world. And Dhanuswara with the silence. About that, Gaudapada doesn't say a word, because he says it is not explicable. Where there is eternal primordial silence, where there is no activity, where there is no namadheyam or anything, and you can see Om. See that layam. That Actually, you should not bother about all these three. You should only bother about that last portion of the Omkara. It just becomes, and the mind has become stilled in meditation. Which is going to say Chadushpad. The Chadushpad is what? Akara, Ukara, Makara, Amatra Om.
About 2 years we can hear that.
That you can hear. Because this is vacant. Vacuum. Vacuum it is. In the vacuum only sound travels. That is why. So, it's a very great mantra. You didn't tell me the time, and after I get up, you say,
Okay, next time we'll tell the time.
you have gone overreached and you are making yourself sick. Now we will stop there. We will continue the same thing at 4 o'clock. But if it is 1 hour, every time I take the steam, that I'm coming. Otherwise I can't talk.
Now you take rest of
Okay. So think over all these things that I have told you. You want to take rest or I should take? No. think over. These are not things to be learned from books. Many things I thought over. So many days I have been reading this. So thus you must learn the habit of thinking over what you have heard. Then only it is going to benefit you immensely. So why Omkar is said in so many verses, and how the Omkara meditation has to be undertaken, we will see in the next class. Maybe we cannot finish, whether we can finish. If I go on thinking when will I finish, then I cannot do justice either to what I am saying or to the text. Okay? So then this, into that, what you see, the Gaudapada says, what you see is all Om. And Om means Namaruvatmagam Jagat. And this Vak Prapancham is nothing but Brahman. Why it is Brahman? Because Brahman is Abhideyam, Om is Abhidhanam. You understand? In fact, Om is also Abhideyam and Brahman is also Abhidhanam. There is no Bhedam between the two. So, Om is Sarvatragam, Ajindyam. Brahman is also. Do you understand? So then whenever you say Om, that means I am remembering all this is Brahman. You understand? And Om is Brahman.
Earlier it is told, Amma.
Eh?
Earlier it is told that Om is creation. All the Avastatraya.
No, I didn't say. I am. I am coming to that only. Avastatrayam I have not started yet. That is only with reference to that verse I have been talking. But now I am telling you how you can equate the three matras of Om to the three states of consciousness of. You understand? The next step is that how the three matras Om are representing the three states of consciousness. How the silence in the Om, the Anuswaram, represents the Brahma. Per se, self per se. First, Akara represents the waking self, Ukara represents the dream self, and Makara represents the deep sleep self, and Anusara and the dot represents the self per se. Not waker, not dreamer, not deep sleeper. Then what it is? Self. Brahman. Don't think Omkara Upasana is easy. It is not like saying Om Krishnaya Namaha. Very easy for us. Krishna's form is there. Beautiful.
Om is both the symbol as well as the vastu.
Astu. Abhideya, Abhidhana, Abheda is there. I mean, they have chosen it that way. So, Omkara represents both. And Omkara, these matras are equated with the avasthas of the avastatraya. Sakshi is the Brahman, and when the Anuswara in Brahman is the Sakshi Chaitanya. To Om, to represent, it's a sound symbol, it is the highest type of symbolization, and it represents Brahman. And what is Brahman? If Om is Abhidhana, Om Brahman is Abhideya. Known by this Abhidhana, that Abhideya is Brahman. Vice versa also. That if Om is the Abhideya and Brahman and Om both are Abhideya and Abhidhana, there is an abhedam between both, between Om and. Is it clear? So like that we will go. You will never see this type of Om Upasana in any other Upanishad. They say Om is great, Pranavam, that this. But what is its significance? Mandukya gives in most wonderful language. Now when we say the matra, pada, then you will understand what the matras of the Om is the padas of the Avastatrayam. Avastatrayam. Okay. Meanwhile you pray for my throat. Because the throat, I don't know, I must... Brahman, my throat, please. In my many years of teaching, I never had a problem like this. What to do? Some prarabdham Mandukya is bringing.
You are testing yourself.
Om Shanti.